Hi friends, and welcome to Ouroboros Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is looking into how do they think you feel. And I have 4 groups here for you to choose from. Group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and pause this video if you need to. Take as much time as you need to find the group that sits right with your energy as well as with your person's. And I will see you in a minute. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. We're looking into how do they think you feel, and this was a reading that was requested in the comments of my last video. So if you have a request as well, please feel free to put that in the comment section down below. And I do read your guys' comments and would love to do another request soon. But with that being said, you guys picked this card, and this card is number 33, the Truthful. And the affirmation for this card is, I speak my truth and expect everyone I care about to do so too. So this card is going to go in the pile with how they think you feel. This pile here on my left is looking into how they think you see them. So we're going to look at those cards first. And keep in mind that this is what they're thinking. This doesn't necessarily have to be the truth of what you actually see. Hopefully this resonates. If it doesn't, it's probably not your pile. If it doesn't sound like, if it's really out there, it's probably not your pile. We're also going to pull tarot after we look through these oracles to see how they feel based on the assumptions that they've made on how they think you see them and how they think you feel. So when it comes to how this person thinks that you are seeing them, pile 1, we have the starfish. We have the snail, with the keyword being respire. We have the child divine. The light attributes are innocence, purity, and redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. And the shadow attribute is an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. We also have the crow. And we have number 4, keep trying. Okay, so how does this person think that you see them? I feel like this is somebody who is very much, they very much care about what other people think. They care about their image. I think their image is very important to them. And this could be something that has to do with the fact that their image is important for work. It could be just that they simply are perfectionists and they really want people, they have like a very curated vibe that they put out into the world. Everything is done with purpose. It's pretty meticulous is kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this person. And this person feels as though you see through that. And I think that they feel as though what they have tried to portray is much more fascinating, or is much more, yeah, it's just like, it's fancier, it's more impressive than who they truly are, or who they truly feel like they are on the inside. And they feel as though you see that less impressive side of them. You see the humanness in them. And I don't think that this person allows themselves to be human, if you will. I think for some of you, you may see through not only just like the image when it comes to like what they're wearing, or you know, how they look in some way, but also in what they're saying, in their empty promises, or yeah, just things like that. Everything about this person seems like, if you really peel back the layers, there's not as much depth as they've made it appear. There's more shallowness here than I think that this person is wanting to admit, but unfortunately for them, it feels like you see through it anyway. I think for some of you, especially with this snail here, there's a couple of messages coming through pile 1. The first one is that this snail is somebody who has their home on their back. So this person may be somebody that doesn't have roots, doesn't want to be tied down, is very reserved when it comes to connecting with others. But another thing that's coming through with this snail card is a slowness. Like, This person is moving very slowly toward you. This person is not keeping pace with you. And I think that it has to do with like all of this extra weight that they're carrying. They don't want others to help them. They don't want to be the one that has to ask others. They're somebody, for a lot of you, this is somebody who does help, who does do a lot for other people, but they would never allow themselves to ask that of others when it comes to them. And I feel like this person understands that they are wounded in a lot of ways. And for a lot of you, I feel like maybe there are wounds here that they didn't even realize were a thing until they met you. Let's see how it is that they think you are feeling, though. So here we have number 33, the truthful. We also have movement. I'm going to go ahead and put this one here. We have expanse. We have the box. This card is number 22, the Emperor. The affirmation is, I am worthy of respect because I am respectful of all. We have Rainbow Road. And lastly, we have space. Okay, so how does this person think that you feel? With the box here, pile 1, I feel like this person thinks that you feel as though you are outgrowing this connection, or this connection is really holding you tight. And I feel like your person sees you as somebody who's kind of moving away from this connection in a lot of ways. You're moving on. And it may not be that you're moving on from this connection entirely, but you may be moving on from a certain aspect of it. So for example, if this was a situationship or if this was a romantic connection of some kind, you may be moving away from those romantic feelings. There's still a relationship here, but whatever was going on in the past or whatever is going on currently, they seem to be under the impression that you feel as though it's no longer serving you. And I think that they're under this impression not because of the gut feeling that they have, but with these two cards here, I feel as though pile 1, you have made it very clear what your boundaries are, what it is that you need from others, what it is that you expect in certain relationships. And I don't think that you've left any room for misinterpretation or for misunderstanding. And this person, based on like what I'm seeing here when it comes to how they think you see them, has not stepped up to the plate in the way that you had asked them to, or in the way in which you had told them was necessary in order for this to move forward. And I think that they're seeing you as somebody who is really respectful and understanding, and has probably really been patient with them and has been more than understanding in a lot of ways. And you're no longer putting them first. You're putting your own expansion and your own growth before anything else. And this connection currently is limiting you in what you can do in life. And you're not allowing that to be the ruling factor, the deciding factor of the decisions you make in life. I don't feel like this person feels as though you are ending this connection entirely, but they do feel as though you are grieving a certain outcome that you wanted from this connection. And you're doing it from a place of self-love. This person feels as though the decisions that you're making, the feelings that you are allowing yourself to feel, everything that you are doing currently is rooted in self-love. It's rooted in love for yourself rather than love and compassion for this person. While you can have that as well, that's not what's ruling you anymore. Because you also need to have love and compassion for yourself. And I think that this person is a little too late to the game. But let's see how they feel. Let's see how these assumptions that they've made about how you're feeling and how you see them make them feel. Okay, how does this make pile 1's person feel? We have the Queen of Cups. we have the Knight of Wands, we have Strength, we have the World. Why is the Queen of Cups here? We have the Three of Wands. Under the Knight of Wands, we have the Eight of Swords. We have the King of Wands coming out under Strength. And why is the World here? We have the Star and the Page of Pentacles. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. I'm also going to pull some oracles. How does this make pile one's person feel? We have Ungrateful Daughter and Earthly Mother. We have Your Light. We have Sitting on Top of the World. And we have Scry Mirror. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Good Things. Okay. So the word that comes out, especially when I saw Good Things, the words that come to mind are bittersweet. I think that this person feels bittersweet about what's happening and about how they think you're feeling. I feel like this person understands what it is that they have let pass, what it is that they have let out of their grips, and it was something that could have been really beautiful. I think that they feel a little bit of shame, pile one, a little bit of shame in having let someone as incredible as you go. And I think that there's shame in how they treated you. And it might be that they didn't treat you like in a way that was like very poor. Like it wasn't in a really bad way, but with the cards that were coming out previously, with the Emperor and with the other one, what was it? It was like the Truth Teller or something like that. I feel like they feel stupid. They feel foolish. They feel like you laid everything out on the table and there was nothing for them to do besides what it was that you asked of them, and for whatever reason they didn't, and you didn't deserve that. I think that, you know, a part of them feels like this is what they deserve, seeing you move on, seeing you blossom, seeing you expand and eventually find, especially if this was a romantic partnership with the Queen of Cups here, I feel like this person understands that if you are to find somebody else while you are in a friendship with this person, it will be their own undoing. It will be their fault that they are witnessing this rather than having you for themselves. They're reaping what they sowed is kind of what I'm sensing. And I also feel like they feel like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because there's this understanding, especially when I was talking about how this person feels as though you may have shed light on wounds that they didn't even know that they had. I feel like for some of you, this person understands that now that they are aware of those wounds, now that they are aware of how they were affecting themselves, as well as you and the other people in their lives, the people around them, now that they know that, there's no going back to like pretending like it doesn't exist, right? There's a responsibility that they have now, regardless of whether or not you are in a relationship with this person or not. There's a responsibility that this person has to themselves to heal. If they're ever going to have a good relationship with themselves, they owe it to themselves to do this work. And I feel like they're stuck right now currently between understanding that that is the case and like really needing to focus on that, but also at the same time feeling stuck because they also are focused on the feelings of having to let you go and the discomfort that causes them. And yeah, I think that there's just like confusion, or there's just a lot of distress around what to focus on currently. but deep within themselves, they know that what's happening currently and how they think you feel is a blessing in disguise in a lot of ways. It's an opportunity for them to really begin to work on themselves and develop a deeper relationship with themselves. I think, with this card here, with sitting on top of the world, the words that I hear are the one that got away. I feel like with the King of Wands here, and then strength with this lion here, I feel like what they're acknowledging is that you could have been like a power couple. Perhaps for a lot of you, this is like power couple energy. Like you could have been somebody so good for them. You could have really helped them step into their own power and become the best version of themselves. And for whatever reason, they threw it away. And I think that there's a little bit of fate involved here. With the star and the world, I think that this person feels as though there is fate involved here when it comes to why this connection has ended in the way it did. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that they are still on this path toward coming into their throne, coming into their power, beginning to understand all of the wonderful things that they have within themselves that they can share with the world. And it doesn't have to come from another person. Again, I feel called to this Your Light card. I feel called to this desire within them to work on themselves and develop a relationship with themselves and be able to trust themselves, be able to feel stable alone. I think that is, and not stable alone because they are fearful of being hurt or are fearful of commitment, but stable alone because they are healed. I think that there's hope on this person's end still with the world here and the star and the Page of Pentacles. There's hope here that in the future there could be potential. However, I think this person is somebody who is rational and is logical more than they are emotional. And from a rational perspective, they feel as though it's going to be something that is in the very far future if it ever were to happen. It would be something that's very slow moving. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 1. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice before we close out this reading. I'll go ahead and pull 2 of these cards and see what your guides have to say. What advice is there for pile 1? So we have confusion. Confusion is temporary and leads to clarity. Are you feeling lost? Slow down, be patient, and allow clarity to emerge in its own time. Let's get one more. What advice is there? And then we have patience. Patience is key to achieving your goals. Have you been feeling restless? Trust in the process and wait for things to unfold. Great outcomes take time. I feel like your guides are really on the back of the deck, sorry, I just felt called to this. On the back of the deck it says allure, cherish. Cherish the beauty that attracts you. Have you been too busy to appreciate the good things around you? Take time to enjoy and value the moments and people that bring you joy. So I feel like what your guides are kind of encouraging you to do right now are to let go of this, especially if it feels like there's urgency here for things to be resolved, for things to be fixed. I feel like your guides are encouraging you to really take a step back and observe that urgency rather than let it control you or take over you or consume you. It feels like this is something that is being divinely guided, and if this is something that you're truly wanting, if you're wanting this relationship to kind of move on to a different phase, it's going to come in its own time, and I don't think that it's going to happen quickly. And your guides are asking you to be patient and to enjoy what it is that you do have, even if it is this connection as it is currently. If it's something that's healthy, even if it isn't necessarily a romantic relationship, or even if it isn't necessarily, whatever kind of relationship you're wanting, if it's healthy and if it's bringing you joy, be thankful for that. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. I have the link in the description box of this video. And I hope that I will have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye! Hi Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. We're asking the cards today, how do they think you feel? And this was a reading that was requested from one of you guys. In my previous video, I asked in the comment section for people to write requests of what readings they would like, and I do read all of your comments, so if you are wanting to request a type of reading, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. But let's get back into our reading. So you guys chose this card here, and this card is number 24, the patient. The affirmation is, I can endure whatever twists and turns life brings me. So this card here is going to go in this pile, which is representative of how they think you feel. But before we get into that, we're first going to look into how this person thinks that you see them. And please keep in mind that this is from their perspective, so it may not be actually how you do see them. However, it should resonate in some ways. It should be something where you reflect and think, I could see why they think that. If it doesn't resonate, it's not your pile. So the first card we have, pile 2, is the beggar. The light attributes are confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem, and the shadow attribute is dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. We also have the elephant. We have number 2, surrender to receive. And we have the fennec fox with the keyword being deflect. So how does this person think that you see them? I would say, pile 2, that this person doesn't feel very highly of themselves or doesn't believe that you think of them very highly. These cards here, all combined, to me are indicating someone who is depressed or who just doesn't know how to be happy. And I think that that is a big message here when it comes to how they think you see them. They think that you see them as someone who just doesn't know how to just be, or doesn't know how to be thankful or happy, someone who's a little pessimistic or negative, someone who's always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yeah, I think that this is somebody who they think that you see them as somebody who has a lot to be thankful for, has a lot of blessings in their life, has a lot of magic coming down the road for them that you can see clear as day. And for whatever reason, they don't want to get excited about it. Maybe it's because they don't want to be disappointed if it's not what it was that they thought it would be. I think that this person is very fearful of being hurt, very fearful of being disappointed, and because of that, it's like they don't even want to try, especially when it comes to like connections. Like they desperately want a connection. They desperately want to be around others and have friends and have romance, but at the same time, they don't put in a lot of effort for those things. It's like there's this attitude of why bother, or what's the point? I don't know. It feels like this person isn't in a place where they have a lot of self-esteem for themselves. There's not a lot of like positive thoughts that are here. And I don't necessarily think that this is true, you know? I think that this is coming from, you know, the stories that they've been telling themselves, but I don't think that this is all there is to this person. But for whatever reason, that's what's coming through. I think that this person really feels strongly about this. If that resonates, let's go ahead and look into how they think you feel. So we already picked this card out. This was the patient. I can endure whatever twists and turns life brings me. We also have alignment. We have the ocean, and we have energy. Okay, so again, I feel like this person, for somebody who doesn't really want to try, they sure are taking a lot of responsibility for things. And I think that like it may be misplaced, but let's just get into this. So with the ocean here, I feel like your person feels as though you feel very deeply. You let yourself feel your feelings, and the depths of the care that you have and the depths of the concern and the love that you have for this person knows no end. I think that this is like somebody who feels as though you love them unconditionally, and you also have your own things going on. You also have your own wounds to heal. You have your own day-to-day emotional turmoils that you have to tend to, on top of having like really big feelings for this person. However, I think like with alignment here and with energy and with the patient, I think that this person feels as though you are putting yourself through pain or putting yourself through suffering by being with them. Like they feel as though you are, because you feel so deeply connected to them, you are willing to wait, or you're willing to put up with a lot, even if it's not in your best interest currently, because you feel as though this is like a soul level connection, or because you feel as though this is just a rough patch and things will get better if you just wait it out. And I'm not saying that that's the truth, but this is coming from your person's perspective. And I think that your person is having some kind of pity party for themselves right now, and is taking a lot of responsibility away from you. Like you're your own person and you get to make your own decisions. And you know, with energy here, I feel like they recognize that you aren't in this same mindset that they are in, where you don't know what the point is and you don't even bother. You know, like you're somebody who goes after what it is that they want. You're somebody who has hopes and dreams and passion for life. And that's something that's still here that this person sees. But I think that this person, we'll get more into it with the tarot, but I just feel like this person is feeling as though you feel like you have a responsibility or something to them because you feel like it's a soul level connection. I don't know, that's interesting. I think that this pile in particular, trying to get a read on these cards felt like very warped, like looking through a fisheye glass or something, rather like a fisheye lens, rather than like seeing things as they are. And I think that this person's perspective currently is very warped, and because of that, the vibes that I'm getting from this aren't necessarily like I'm picking up on it, where the vibes aren't necessarily rooted in reality completely. It's rooted in their emotional state currently. But let's go ahead and look into the tarot and see what comes through for how this makes them feel. So how are these assumptions that they're having making them feel? How does what they think you're feeling make them feel? How does pile two's person feel based on these assumptions? Okay. So we have the Death card. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands and the Four of Swords. Why is Death here? We have the Three of Swords. Why is the Four of Cups here? We have the Eight of Cups. Why is the Queen of Wands here? We have the Hierophant reversed. And then for the Seven of Wands, we have Judgment. And why is the Four of Swords here, Spirit? Okay. We have the Three of Cups. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Empress. I'm also going to get some oracles real quick. how is this person currently feeling? How does this make them feel? So we have no one is yours but you, labyrinth, under a spell, smother, and then on the bottom of the deck we have the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. This is interesting, and I don't think that this person is doing very well. Like, I think that they're not in like the best place emotionally currently. I think that, you know, like I said, there's some depression here and it's coming through very clearly. Like, especially with this Four of Cups and the Eight of Cups, there's apathy here. I think that this person is going through some stuff that has like zero to do with you. But you are somebody that is very nearby, and so it's an easy scapegoat. It's an easy way to point the finger at something, and I think that this person is currently pointing a finger at you. This person feels overwhelmed, and I think that they feel as though they don't know how to take care of themselves, and they're taking on responsibility for taking care of you, even though they don't know how to take care of themselves. So how could they possibly take care of you? But they feel like there is a very strong responsibility or a very strong commitment here to try to do what's right, even though they can't even take care of themselves. And like, I think that this person feels very much so called to focus on themselves currently. I don't think that their head is clear enough to like try to come up with like the best course of action in order to do that. So instead of focusing on like how they are wounded and how they need help currently, they're focusing on you and how their decisions or how their behavior is upsetting you potentially. And with smother here, I think that this person feels like they need space. I think this person feels very defensive of themselves, feels defensive of, like, I think this person I don't know how to say it or how to like describe what I'm feeling. I feel like they feel as though they can't accept the love that you have to give them, the care that you have to give them, because what they truly need is love for themselves. No love in the world is going to be enough if that love for themselves is not there. I think they feel as though you are a very mothering, nurturing person, and you care for them deeply, and they recognize that there is unfairness in this because they cannot meet you in the middle. They cannot pull their weight in this connection. And I think that this person feels as though they need space in order to clear their head, in order to get their thoughts right. Because like right now, like I'm having such a hard time reading this because I feel like everything is so mumble jumbled in their head that the reading is mumble jumbled. I'm actually going to get another deck. I didn't do this. This wasn't my plan. I think that they feel as though they wish you would see them. Like, I feel like with under a spell here, I feel like they don't feel seen currently by you. I feel like they feel as though you're seeing what you want to see. Okay, how are they feeling? So we have exchanging gifts, higher power, by the book, yang, and co-create. Okay, I feel like this person with higher power here feels very similar to how they think you're feeling when it comes to like this being something that is like a soul connection. However, I think that they feel as though currently there is not an alignment for it, and the two of you need to find a way to get on the same page in order for this person to do what it is that they need to do. I feel like they need you, they want you to be able to see them for what's actually going on currently, so that then they can then make a choice for themselves that doesn't have to do with you, but does affect you. I think that this person is worried and disappointed that they are hurting you, and that chances are they're going to hurt you again with needing to take space. I don't know. They're just like, they feel like it feels like they feel like the weight of the world is on them and they have to figure out everything. This is really heavy. I'm really sorry, pile 2. This is like a lot. Let's get you some advice. What advice is there for pile 2? Soul happy rekindle connection. Interesting. Okay. Your soul is longing to reconnect with something or someone. Have you drifted away from a meaningful connection? Take the initiative to rekindle this relationship or experience, as it may bring you deep joy. What advice is there for pile 2? We have awakening potential. Your inner potential is awakening and new opportunities are appearing. This is a time for growth and self-discovery. Be bold in exploring new areas and your hidden strengths will reveal themselves. And one more, please. We have clarity. Clear vision is leading you forward. Have you been feeling uncertain? Clarity is emerging. Take action with confidence and trust in your path. This is interesting. I think for those of you who resonated with me saying that this person feels like you're not seeing them for what they truly are going through, you're seeing them for what it is that you want to see, I think that this might be what this card is about, this soul happy rekindle connection. I feel like your guides are saying that like in order to connect with this person, there needs to be honesty about who this person is. And I see it here with clarity too. If that didn't resonate for you, I would say that these cards are indicative of your guides encouraging you to rekindle your relationship with yourself. Just as much as it may feel really important to be in alignment and be connected to this person, it's even more important to not disconnect from yourself along the way in order to make that happen. But that's what I'm seeing for you today, pile 2. I'm really sorry that this was so heavy. That was not what I was expecting, but that's what came through. And please know that I am wishing you all the best. I'm sending you hugs, love, light, everything, and I'm always wishing you the best. And I hope that I will have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye! Hi Pile 3 and welcome to your reading. We're looking into how they think you feel. And this was a reading that was requested by one of you guys by putting a comment in the comment section of my last video. So if you would like to request a reading, please feel free to put that in the comments. I do look through all of the comments. I love reading what you guys have to say about how it resonates, sharing insight for others. Whatever it is that you would like to share, including requests for readings, please feel free to share it. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into our reading. And you guys chose this card here, the Persistent, and the affirmation is, I hold fast to my goals and ideals as I persevere. So I'm going to leave that here. We are first going to look into how they think you see them. And for that, we have the guide. The light attribute represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. And the shadow attribute places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. And we have the unicorn. We have the heron with the keyword being focus. And we have number 3, evolve into your complexity. So how does this person think that you see them, Pile 3? Everything here is very positive, Pile 3. I think this person thinks you think very highly of them. You see them in a very positive light. I think that they think you see them as somebody who is very much themselves, somebody who is very much so leaning into their authentic self, very much so following their soul's calling, is on a path that is true to them. And I think that this is somebody who feels as though you look up to them in some capacity. They may very well be somebody who is guiding you or who is on the same path as you currently. And I think that's the case for a lot of you. I think that this person is very much so goal-oriented. And with this evolve into your complexity, I feel like this is somebody who is beginning to ask deeper questions out of life, questions like, what is it that I want out of life? What is my fate? What is my truth? And is open to hearing the response, is open to feedback. I think that this person is somebody who is very spiritually inclined. This is how they think you see them. And with the unicorn here, I would even argue that for some of you, they feel as though you've probably asked yourself, is this real? Is this person real? Because it seems too good to be true. I think for some of you, this may be a connection where there's an age gap of some kind, like perhaps this person is older than you, but I do think that that's just for a select few of you. But there's just something philosophical and spiritual about this person. There's something deep, and I think that they feel as though you see them as somebody who is on the same level as you, like you're vibrating on the same frequency. This could be your counterpart. This could be your soulmate. Yeah. So when it comes to how they think you feel, we have our first card here, the Persistent. The affirmation is, I hold fast to my goals and ideals as I persevere. We have frequency of light. We have death. We have the animal. And we have cleanse. Okay, so how does this person think you feel? I think this person feels as though you are going through a renewal of some kind. With death here, and with cleanse, I feel like they feel as though you feel like you are shedding an old skin. You're shedding things that no longer serve you. And I think that this person feels as though you feel alive. You feel like you are living up to your highest calling. You're living up to, you're on the right path. They feel as though you feel like fate is on your side currently. You feel as though you are on the right path. You're living a life that's true to you. And I think that there's a lot of joy here. This person feels as though you feel so much joy and love, not only for this person, but for everyone around you. I think that there's an evolution happening right now within you. That's what they feel. And there's just something that's just so genuine about it. Like the joy that one must feel when feeling safe enough to be truly themselves and allowing another person to see them for who they truly are and to know that they are safe, and not only safe but celebrated. That's the kind of joy that I'm picking up on here. Your person feels as though you are very happy. And you've worked very hard to get where you are. And you're honing in on certain skills. There may be certain goals that you're currently working towards, and you're honing in on the skills necessary in order to achieve those goals. There's a lot of hard work at play here too. But let's see how they feel based on what it is that they think you're feeling and what you're seeing. Let's see how it makes them feel. I'm going to move these out of the way. Okay. How does this make Pile 3's person feel, Spirit? How does Pile 3's person feel? So we have the Page of Wands. How does Pile 3's person feel? We have the Two of Cups. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Knight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Why is the Page of Wands here, Spirit? We have the Seven of Cups. Why is the Two of Cups here? Oh my gosh, we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, why is the Three of Wands here? We have the Tower and we have the Knight of Pentacles. For the Knight of Cups, we have the Four of Cups. And for the Page of Pentacles, we have Judgment. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. Okay, I'm also going to get some oracles real quick. How is Pile 3's person feeling? So we have Broken and Hatched. We have Gifts to the Portal. We have Puppet. We have Repopulate, and then on the bottom of the deck we have the All-Knower. Okay, so how is this person feeling? I kind of sense for some of you, Pile 3, like this was an unexpected surprise. You coming into their life, or them having the feelings that they do for you, which are very deep, was not something that was in their plan. And like I said previously, you know, they think that you see them as somebody who is kind of goal-oriented, who has a path that they are on, and I don't necessarily know if they thought that this connection was part of the path. And I think that they're having to re-envision what their path looks like because they want you in that path. I think that, you know, with the Page of Wands here, that was the first card that came out, and the key word that came to mind when I saw the Page of Wands was excitement. Like this person feels excited. They feel excited for what is on the horizon. And with the Three of Wands here, this is also about what is on the horizon, what is coming back to you. And it's being clarified by the Tower and the Knight of Pentacles. And I think that what this is indicating is that this person would like for this, or would have liked for romance or a very deep connection of some kind to appear in their life slowly, and that has not been the case. And I think that they're struggling in a way with Puppet here, and with the Knight of Cups and the Four of Cups. They're struggling with wanting to keep their autonomy. Because I think that this person may be fearful, and I think that it's a pretty valid fear if you haven't had a lot of practice with, maintaining boundaries and keeping a sense of self when you are in relationships. It could be scary to think that you may become somebody who loses their sense of self. You may become somebody who becomes a puppet, who no longer has the control over their life. And I think that when it comes to having really big feelings like the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups, there are going to be feelings of not having control. And that's just a part of life. And I think that this person sees that. They see it, they know it. I think that they're, with the all-knower here, I think that there is an understanding that, being vulnerable leads to hurt sometimes, more often than not, in certain instances. And I think that there is this understanding that that's possible. And then there's also this desire, this very strong desire to push through that. Because I think this person is very spiritual. And because of that, they want to be mindful of what it is that they are accepting as their truth. And they don't want their truth to be that love always hurts. Because that's simply not the truth unless they make it so, right? And I think it's interesting that we have like gifts to the portal, and there's this apple, and then we have repopulation, and there's this apple core that's rotting, and then we have an apple again. Like, I feel like this person feels as though this is an opportunity for so much prosperity between the two of you. I feel like this person really cares about you. If they've shared this with you, I would say like this person loves you deeply. This person feels as though you are their soulmate. This person feels as though they could spend their life with you. But I think it's scary. I think that this might be from all of the paths that they have taken, and I think that this person is pretty mature and evolved, but I don't know if they've had very many paths where they've felt this way about another person before. And so this one feels scary. This one makes them feel kind of like they're a baby that was just born and it's their first rodeo. But it's like exciting and sweet too. I think that this is a very positive reading and very human. Just a very, very positive and very deep reading into someone's feelings. And it's very, very sweet. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice. What advice is there for pile 3? We have trust, observe. Your intuition is quietly guiding you, but sometimes you need to pay more attention to the small changes around you. Reflect on recent moments of confusion. By observing the little details, it will sharpen your intuition over time. What advice is there for pile 3? Okay, I'm going to take both. So we have openness moment. This is a time of openness and new possibilities. Are you ready to embrace them? Stay open to new experiences and you might find unexpected opportunities. And we have transformation. You are undergoing a profound transformation. Have recent changes made you uncertain? Embrace the shifts. They are guiding you toward personal and spiritual growth. I think that your guides are just kind of encouraging you to stay open-minded and don't close your heart out of fear. Obviously, if there is intuition telling you that it's time to walk away, absolutely listen to that. But if it's just, if they don't want you to be ruled by fear, is basically what I'm seeing here. But that's everything I have for you guys today, pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. Please know that I'm always wishing you guys Nothing but the best, and I hope that I will have another chance to read for you soon. Bye! Hi Pile 4, and welcome to your reading. We're looking into how do they think you feel? And this was a reading that was requested by one of you guys. I asked, and I continue to ask, that if you have a request for a reading, please put it in the comment section. I read every comment. I love the things that you guys say about how the readings resonated, when you guys give insight or advice to one another, encouragement to one another. And I also love reading the comments about requests. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. And you guys chose this card here, and this card is number 40, the homebody. The affirmation is, I enjoy the secure base I have made for myself and my loved ones. And before we get into this pile, we're first going to look at this pile. And this pile is going to show us what they think you see them as. How do they think you see them? And for that, we have number 5, nourishment while waiting. We have the firefly. We have the healer. Let's see, I feel like there's one missing. Oh wait, here it is. Wrong pile. Okay, we have the flasher moth with the keyword being spotlight. We have the healer. The light attributes are passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, ability to help transform pain into healing. And the shadow attributes are taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. And we have number 10, master manifester. Okay, so how does this person think that you see them? I feel like pile 4, that this person is somebody who is a leader of some kind. You see them as somebody who's guiding you to help you achieve a goal. I feel like this could be somebody who is in your place of work, or is just helping you achieve a goal that has nothing to do with this connection. It's something outside of it, and I think that they are guiding you in some way. This person seems to feel as though you are attracted to them. Like you see them as somebody who is attractive. You're very drawn to them. And they're very inspiring to you. However, at the same time, I feel like this person thinks you see them as someone who is unattainable. And it could very well be, and I feel like this is the case for a lot of you, that it's because this person is off limits for whatever reason. With the firefly here, I feel like you are seeing them, or they think you are seeing them, as somebody who is very inspiring and has given you a lot of thoughts, a lot of inspiration in areas outside of this connection. However, they just are unattainable for whatever reason. And the vibe that I'm kind of getting is that they think you see them as somebody who is not for right now, but not ever, if that makes sense. Like they don't think you see them as somebody who you can't act on that attraction in the future, but for right now it's a no. Yeah. Let's get into how they think you feel. So we have the homebody. The affirmation is, I enjoy the secure base I have made for myself and my loved ones. We also have Venus undone. We have caution. And we have the bardo. Okay, so how does this person think that you feel about them? With Venus undone here, pile 4, I would say that this person feels as though you really are drawn to them, and like there is more than just like a professional or whatever, you know, like platonic, whatever the case may be for this connection currently. There's more to this connection than what meets the eye. And I feel like they feel as though you feel a very strong connection to them and you desire to have more vulnerability with them. You're very drawn to them. There's like a pull that you have to them and you want more. However, I get the feeling that they feel as though you don't want to act on that. And because of that, you also, based on what they think you're feeling, are truly unsure of how you actually feel, because it's not something that you're actively exploring. Like, there's a desire to explore things more deeply, but you're not going down that road, and because of that, there's a lack of clarity when it comes to how you truly feel. And I think that, your person feels as though you are most concerned about your own peace. You're most concerned about your peace, potentially the peace of others, the happiness of others, the effect that your decisions may have on others. I feel like your person feels as though there is a lot of hesitation on your end because you are considering the effects it would have on you and those around you. Yeah. Let's go ahead and see how this makes them feel. Whoops. Okay, Spirit, we're looking into Pile 4's person. How does what they're thinking about how they're feeling and what they see make Pile 4's person feel? Okay. We have Temperance, the Empress. Okay, Temperance, the Empress, the Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles. Why is Temperance here? We have the King of Wands. Why is the Empress here? We have the Queen of Cups. Why is the Five of Pentacles here? Whoa. Okay, we have the Eight of Cups reversed, and we have the Page of Cups. Why is the Seven of Wands here? We have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles. I also have oracles that I would like to pull real quick. How does Pile 4's person feel? So we have make-believe. We have party leader. We have cosmic exploration. And we have in-between worlds. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have hiding. That's interesting that in-between worlds came out because the Bardo is also representative of in-between worlds. And I feel like what they think that you're feeling is very similar to how they are feeling, where they feel like they're kind of in limbo, where they have desires. And I think that this person is probably kind of, with cosmic exploration here and with make-believe, they may be acting on those desires in a way, like they may be fantasizing more about this or about you, wondering what if, but they also feel as though there's space, and there's space for a reason. And I think they're kind of doubting themselves with make-believe here. I think that this person may be doubting whether or not what they're feeling is mutual, or what they think you're feeling is actually even close to what it is that you're feeling. I think that this person is trying to temper down their desires for you. They see you as somebody who is very attractive, both physically but also emotionally. I think this person is emotionally drawn to you, Pile 4. However, at the same time, I feel like this person is conflicted because there's this desire here to move forward, but there's also a desire to walk away, but then there's a desire to not walk away. Like, they don't know what to do. They feel stuck. They feel stuck because whichever way they go currently, I feel like whatever choice they make is not going to lead them to what it is that they want. That's what they feel. And I think that they are I think that they are uncomfortable with these feelings and they know that they are not appropriate to share for whatever reason. And I think that for a lot of you, they're inappropriate to share because they are unable to act on those feelings currently. And if they were to share the feelings, there would be an expectation and a desire on their part to then act on them, to then offer you something. And currently that's not possible for whatever reason. And so I feel like this person feels as though they're being disingenuous in a way. However, never mind. That has nothing to do with how they're feeling. This was just an opinion of mine, and I'm going to keep it to myself because it doesn't matter. Let's get you some advice. What advice is there for pile 4? We have strength. You are stronger than you realize. Though the times may be tough, remember that you have the courage and resilience to get through it. Your inner strength will help you overcome all obstacles. We have inspiration. Inspiration is sparking within you, lighting the way forward. Have you felt stuck lately? Reconnect with what excites you. It will reignite your creativity and motivation. And purpose. Your purpose is guiding you forward. Have you been feeling lost? Refocus on what truly matters to you and pursue the things that bring meaning and fulfillment. And then on the bottom of the deck, true love. True love is a deep soul connection. Are you searching for it? Trust that it's out there, but remember to love yourself first. True love will follow naturally. Okay, so what, and then underneath that is guilty. What is your advice? I feel like your guides, pile 4, are wanting you to know that, you know, there's a reason why this person has come into your life. And I think for a lot of you, like we've already discussed, this has to do with something that has nothing to do with the connection itself, but like there was a goal or something that needed to be achieved. And I think that for a lot of you, that goal has not been achieved or realized yet. And your guides are kind of encouraging you to refocus your attention on what your intention was in the first place. For those of you who have already achieved that goal, I feel like your guides are still encouraging you to find things that bring you joy, that make your soul feel, you know, on fire and joyful and happy and like it's doing exactly what it's meant to. And everything else will fall into place as it's meant to. I think your guides are encouraging you to not betray yourself for anything other than what it is that you deserve. Otherwise, it's not true love. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 4. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope that I will have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye.